And the sad part to me is that it's going to take the disaster probably or the bad thing to happen before a foundation like that or some kind of nonprofit is stood up. You know, when
Yeah.
some kind of widespread damage due to misinformation provided by large language model um, would that be like, okay, well now we're gonna stand this up since X, Y, and Z has happened.
Yeah. Oh, I feel like we might get there before that, before the thing. I think there's enough lessons out here. Was it the GNU Foundation or the one that does the GPL license? That just happened because folks were just concerned about people taking their software or companies being, companies taking what they've done, selling it out, and not actually contributing back to what they've just taken from. And it
Yeah,
was just a protective measure. I think we are at a good place for protective measures to appear, right? I just don't know who those people are. And I feel like some of these folks that have left Open AI will probably end up trying to be some of these people, right?
I was actually that's a really good point because one of them in particular, I think it's one of our talking points today.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'll say this and then we'll move forward. I think the highlight or the thing that goes wrong, misinformation, whatever it may be, is no longer dependent on if it's harmful, if it's true, if it's false, if it does damage. We live in a society now, and it's unfortunate I'm about to say this, that it heavily depends on who said it.
Hmm.
Because
Yeah.
if one individual, who may sit in a particular political seat, if they say it, it is nowhere near going to carry that much impact or that much not damage, but that much, reparation or stuff where it may be.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It is dependent on who says it, who did the damage. And so the damage can be just as impactful, if not more. But if it's coming from a certain individual, who sits in a certain seat, then it will be either pushed up the rug or ignored or just kind of moved along like nothing happened.
Hmm.
Um, and so I think that's also unfortunate. We'll take it a step further because I've stated this before. I am worried about the future of SMBs because you have a lot of companies, you have a lot of mom and pop shops that really rely on that Google traffic, or
Mm.
that Yelp traffic, of things like that. And we're already starting to see, these models shift. And these models we have no clue right now. There is no SEO yet, anything for, these AI generated search engines and stuff and everything. It is being developed and is being built, but also most importantly, um, your neighborhood dry cleaner have no clue of how do they get their site, their business to populate in a search, and stuff like
That's a
that.
good point.
Particularly,
That's a good
Oh,
point.
partic-
wow.
Yep.
particularly, particularly if you have models like Microsoft that does not use Google in the results.
Mm,
They do not use Google and stuff in their results or anything.